Hey y'all, so Eric here on Sunday the 28th. Just jumping on here for a few news nuggets today. And like I said, today is Sunday the 28th, and so tomorrow's the 29th, and Tuesday is the 30th. And of course, just reminding everyone means we have less than 72 hours before the government shuts down. So let's talk about what the government is actually doing, specifically people in the government, and what they're doing. And so I see some news on my Instagram feed, and I'm not going to share this, but I'm just going to tell you. Speaker Mike Johnson, who is the Speaker of the House, refuses to swear in a new representative from the state of Arizona, who is the decisive vote on Epstein files. Mm-hmm. That means if he gives her the oath, and she will now be the 218th vote for releasing the Epstein files. So he's not doing the swearing in, and that's one of his duty. That's one of his duties. Ask him, reach out to him, ask him why he's not doing his duty. Because if he's not doing his duty, guess what? Remove him. Remove him. Because he's still not understanding that the Congress is equal to the executive branch. He's still just taking a knee, kissing the boot, and kissing the ring. So appreciate you, Representative Grijalva. I'm so sorry that you haven't gotten your swearing in, but we know once it's done, sue him for your swearing in, and that way the the Epstein files will finally come out. Just go ahead and send them out. So let's go forward. A couple of days ago, the BBC reported that ICE arrested an American citizen who's the top educator in the state of Iowa's largest school district. Mm-hmm. Yep. This was reported by the BBC, and Joy Reid, former host of the Joy of the Readout from NBC, behold, the quote, dangerous criminals, unquote, ICE is taking off of our streets, former Olympic track star, educator, and administrator of a 30,000 student school district who overstayed his student visa more than a decade ago and holds a PhD. I'm sure you feel much safer now, people of Iowa. If only he was a white South African illegally leaving school to start a tech business with his brother, who also illegally left school to start that business. Mr. Roberts would not be such a horrible scoundrel. Also, how dare he own a gun and enjoy hunting? Those things are for white people in the Second Amendment worshiping America. Am I right? Thank you, Joy. Representative Adams, who is my federal representative from here in the state of North Carolina, sent a letter from her and other lawmakers calling on the United States, the USDA, to reinstate household food security reports. Yep. The reports themselves, the most important high quality, consistent measure of national and state level food insecurity we have in the United States, giving us critical insight into how many Americans each year have to cut the size of meals or were hungry because they had too little money for food. So, yeah, those reports also were cut by the Trump administration. And then Aaron Parnas, who is a political YouTube content creator who I follow, reported yesterday that the state of Texas arrested a man who threatened to target Pride Parade to avenge Charlie Kirk's death. Mm-hmm. Yep. You can find that on YouTube. Again, from Joy Reid, the Atlanta, I believe this is the Associate Press. The Associate Press reported the Atlanta airport forfeits $37.5 million in airport funds after refusing to agree to Trump's DEI ban. So again, if you don't kiss the ring, you don't get your funds. And this tracks Bruce Springsteen rips Democrats and their response to Trump. Bruce Springsteen is criticizing Democrats as ineffective in pushing back against President Trump. He's not wrong. He is not wrong, saying the issue lies with both the language that they're using and how they're trying to reach people. I mean, I appreciate the chest thumping. I appreciate that. However, that's not enough. That is not enough. He went further to say we're desperately in need of an effective alternative party, or for the Democratic Party to find someone who can speak to the majority of the nation. He said in an interview with Time magazine published last Thursday, there is a problem with the language that they're using and the way they're trying to reach people. Again, he's not wrong. And Representative Maxwell Frost, he's a representative from the state of Florida, is showing that Trump and the Republicans in Congress are marching the country towards a government shutdown. And they're doing it while raising your health care cost and refusing to negotiate. And a reminder that the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. If they shut the government down, it's on them. He is absolutely right. Absolutely. They're focusing more on Portland, Oregon, who didn't ask for the National Guard to come. They're focusing and calling anyone who protests against the administration Antifa. And I'm no friend of Antifa, but I know why Antifa was created. But yes, he's focusing on that. He's focusing on being belittled rather than focusing on the economy, rather than focusing on disasters, rather than focusing on political violence, but trying to bully the left. Well, you can't bully me. Can't bully me. And if these news outlets, including the British throne, based on that visit to England, if these are true, how about you take a shower and get some good deodorant? Because I'm tired of seeing news outlets talking about the president is smelly. Why are we talking about this instead of the Gaza or the country's economy, or that there are more people unemployed than there are jobs? I know I'm not showing you the percentages because you can Google itself. You can Google it on your own. You know, nobody's making this up. They're not. Nobody's making this up. This is in real time. Real time. And then some of my brethren, not really, but they are gay and I'm gay, so I guess based on that, they're my brethren, but not so much. Here is a report 5 days ago from the Washingtonian magazine that the Log Cabin Republicans, and if you don't know who they are gay Republicans who keep saying that they're trying to change the Republican Party from the inside out. Doesn't look like that to me, because even they are taking a knee, licking the boot, and kissing the ring. Yes, they are. But this report was that they disrupted Yasmin Williamson's Kennedy Center performance. In fact, Kennedy Center staffers called security last week after DC's branch of the Log Cabin Republicans chapter disrupted a performance by a musician that they called, quote, a vocal opponent of President Trump, unquote. Again, trying to change the party from inside? Again, not so much. And as I said earlier in the video, another post from the right wing, REICH-wing, reported by Joy Reid. Again, Speaker Mike Johnson to delay swearing in of newly elected Democrat to prevent the release of the Epstein files. Why? Why? Why are you using all this energy to suppress the release of the Epstein files? Why? Just put them out there. Just put them out there. Because at the end of the day, if you're an asshole, then be an asshole. But don't be a lying asshole. That's the thing. Nobody likes a liar. Most people don't like assholes. I've been called an asshole. But don't be a lying asshole. Let's see, are there any other nuggets I can give you right now on this Sunday? And there was sadly, but again, it's almost like an every other week event, a mass shooting at a Mormon church in Michigan. There were nurses on strike in the same area, and they broke the line to help the victims. So that was reported by Aaron Parnas about five hours ago. But yet another church shooting. So whether it's a school shooting or a church shooting. And let me see if I can find this other one that I saw. It was in reference to a judge in South Carolina. This may not have been on my Instagram feed. No, I think it was on my phone in my Smart News. One other thing that I saw on my Smart News also. Phil Berger, who is the leader of the Senate, the North Carolina General Assembly. North Carolina calls their legislature the General Assembly rather than the legislature. But anyway, Phil Berger is the leader of the Senate. And so the reporting today was that Trump will endorse Phil Berger if North Carolina goes ahead and redraws lines again to keep the House under Republican control. Never mind the people of North Carolina. Never mind their voting rights. But again, just out in the air, talking about gerrymandering. Seems to me like he's scared. That his base is not enough. But the other news that I was looking for, it was in reference to, and my Smart News updates all the time, and I can't remember the judge's name, but the judge was interviewed when the Dylan Roof, who walked into a church in Charleston, South Carolina, and murdered 9 people. This judge said that Dylan Roof's family were victims. This judge has been arrested for possessing child pornography, and there is a possibility that he participated. I wish I could find that article, because I was reading it before I did this video. But I'm not going to linger. See if you can Google that. You can Google Dylan Roof judge and see if that will pull it up. But yeah, all of this, yet it's always the left's fault. Always the left's fault. So anyway, those are your nuggets for Sunday. I will see you on the next video. #elections have consequences. Make sure your voter registration is up to date. See you on the next one.